Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today's session. My name is Corey Dow, and I'm a Principal Technical Marketing Engineer with HPE Aruba Networking. Today, we're going to cover a brief update of the AOS-CX 10.16 update for a new feature, which is EVPN-VXLAN standards-based multicast support. Okay, so let's take a brief look at this new feature support, which is provided, as you can see, with a minimal support of 10.16.0.0.6. And so what this provides, as we see in the bullets here, it provides compliance with EVPN-VXLAN standards-based multicast support as defined in RFC 9251. And prior to 1016, the implementations were proprietary. And all that really means is that the membership reports by these clients were flooded across the network as opposed to utilizing BGP update messages as defined in RFC 9251. And so this feature support will now kind of eliminate the need to flood that across the overlay, which was the proprietary approach. So what this does, it establishes distributed IGMP MLD courier proxy functionality, as I mentioned, where the joins and leaves are no longer flooded across the fabric, but they're sent in route type 6 update messages, and you'll see an example of that in an upcoming slide. For this feature to support, all the VTEPs must support IGMP MLD proxy configurations, unless you use an optional configuration parameter for IGMP MLD proxy feature. And what that will do is it'll allow traffic to non-proxy capable VTEPs to be sent. So as an example here, VTEP2 is not proxy support or RT6 capable. So any joins expressed by like receiver 2 will never see that expressed in the BGP update message. So the sender in this case for VTEP3 would just ignore that unless you specify that command line parameter, and then it would forward not only to the proxy RT6 capable VTEPs, but also to the non-proxy capable VTEPs. And we also have an additional command to enable the IGMP MLD courier addresses for cases where the VTEP doesn't have an SVI corresponding to a VLAN to query the client devices. So that would be a case where it's just a complete flat layer 2 VLAN, which really isn't the case that you see here. So we've got routed streams in this case. And so the use cases it enables are multicast senders and receivers inside an EVPN-VXLAN fabric, campus, or data center, and multi-vendor multicast interoperability with EVPN-VXLAN, and you can see the supported platforms here. Okay, on this slide, let's just take a look at what the environment looks like when you have RT6 support enabled or not enabled. And so in this case, we've taken a packet capture here at this edge VTEP with a membership report from this client that's interested in group 239.111. So without RT6 support, this membership report would just be flooded across the network to any VTEPs that are participating in that specific VLAN 20 in this case. So that's the behavior that we want to avoid, is that unnecessarily flooding that is going across the network, because again, this is all broadcast in nature. And so now you can see instead of it being flooded in the overlay, we have an example of packet capture here where we see that the membership report is expressed not with a flooded IGMP query as you see here, but it's actually a BGP update message that's coming from the edge VTEP that is expressing that client's interest in that multicast group. So you can see here 239.111, and that this is part of the BGP message. There you see the BGP header right there. So this eliminates the flooding that we had previously, and so this establishes better multi-vendor support with other VTEPs that are in the environment that may not be AOS-CX. So multi-vendor use cases are now supported with standards-based approach as opposed to the proprietary approach we had before. Okay, and on this slide, we can see the platform support, so where this feature was introduced. So you can see the platforms here, the AOS-CX platforms, and the release, again, is 10.16.10.0.6 for all of these platforms that you see here. So a word of note of caution is that both the leaf and spine runners need to support the processing of EVPN route type 6 messages. It's not just the edge VTEPs, the route reflectors also need to be able to support that as well. And already mentioned the GA version. There is no support for 6300L platforms because they don't support VXLAN. and there is no OVA support. And I'd just like to thank you for attending the session today.